this is Vicki Robinson, and today I wanted to show you how you can create a piece of washi tape from either a background paper or in today's example from a journal card, and how you can create very quickly and easily a bit of transparent lace to create a simple border. Let's get started. As you can see here on this page, I have some washi tape, little pink washi tape right here, holding down my journal card. Now I'm using the Put a Little Love in It collection, and although it has some tape in it, it doesn't have washi tape, and I really wanted the look of washi tape. If you've done some paper scrapbooking or mixed media, you know that washi tape is a semi-transparent paper tape, and the kit just had some masking tape. That's not the look that I was going for. So let me show you how I created this piece of tape here from a journal card. I'm just going to, this came with the kit as well. I'm going to grab the rectangular Marquee tool, and I'm going to click and drag out a small little rectangle here. I'm not sure how big I need it to be, but I'm going to make it at least, say, an inch long, and then probably close to 3. There we go. Now I'm going to come to the layer menu and choose layer, new layer via cut. And as you can see here, I now have a little piece of washi tape on my little piece of tape on a separate layer. I'm going to switch to my move tool and then click and drag that on top of my paper over here. Let's see, oops, it came in below. Let's put it up here at the top so we can see it. Yep, even about the right size. Let me just go ahead and hide that for you and then move it over into place. Now, as I said, washi tape is usually semi-transparent, and as you can see, this is solid. So one of the things, oops, I'm going to move here. One of the things we could do is we could lower the opacity of this to sort of mimic the look of washi tape, and that looked about the look I was going for. Now I want to make this a little bit more realistic, because if you were to place a piece of tape on a piece of paper, you're going to get a little ridge where your finger slides down over the tape to press it down. I want to show you how easy it is to create that. We're going to do that first with our dodge tool, and that's nested here under the burn tool. I'm using Photoshop Elements 2020 today, but these steps will work the same in the full version of Photoshop. And the dodge tool is this little one that looks like a little pin here. I'm going to choose a brush, and for this I'm going to come up to the drop shadow brushes because I want a square brush here. And here is a drop shadow square. Let's try this 19, size 19. I'm going to adjust my size. It says it's about 19. That looks like that's about right. And then I'm going to set my exposure to about 30%. Then I'm going to use the crosshair on my brush to click once at the very top, just where the paper meets the edge of the paper I can see visible underneath the tape. And then hold down my shift key and then click at the very bottom. Holding down the shift key forces Elements to draw a straight line. And I'm just going to click and drag. You can see that little white area that is placed on my tape layer. I'm just going to do that one more time, make it a little bit darker. Click and then drag straight down. That's better, that's what I wanted. So we've created the first part of the illusion that the paper underneath the tape is peeking up just a little bit. We're going to finish that off by switching to the smudge tool, the burn tool. That's the little hands right here, the burn tool. Going to keep the same brush, about the same size, and let's just see, I want to reduce the exposure down to 16%, leave this around 22, and then once again I'm going to click at the top of the tape, hold my shift key down, and click at the bottom of the tape. See how that creates the illusion of a shadow? I'm going to do it once again, starting just below where that highlight was from my dodge tool. Click once, hold my shift key down, and click again. And then along the edge of the tape here one more time, click once, hold the shift key, and then click again. And then if I back up here, you can see how that now looks more realistic. Like I've actually put a piece of washi tape down on a piece of paper. If your cursor is not showing a little crosshairs here, you can come up to the preferences in Photoshop. Elements on a Mac, preferences is under the editor, the title bar here. If you're on a PC, it's going to be under edit preferences. Come into preferences, and we want to come down to displays and cursors, and then just click this little box here that says show the crosshair tip, the crosshair brush tip. You want to do that anytime you're working details. Of course, you can turn that back off if you want to. Now, once I was finished with my tape, I realized that it felt to me like my elements were floating too much, and I wanted to add some sort of border element to sort of ground them. I couldn't find something that I wanted to use in the collection, so I decided to make my own, and I wanted to pass that along to you because it's really simple and easy to do that, and I'll show you a very little cool trick I bet you probably don't know. I'm going to start with my rectangle tool, and I'm going to choose a color for the rectangle here. I'm going to choose, this pink is already here, but let me show you that chances are the color you want to use is not there because these are just the default colors. I'm going to click on the little color wheel here, and then that opens up a color picker and allows me to choose a color right from my kit. So let's just choose this one right here and say okay. Now I'm simply going to click and drag out a rectangular shape. Let's hide this one that I've got here. Click and drag out a rectangular shape. Click. And then as wide or narrow as you want that to be. I'm just going to click and drag down all the way to the bottom. I think I want this to be pretty narrow. Now I've not got this positioned exactly where I want it. And since I haven't let go of my mouse, I'm going to hold down my space bar and then click and move this into position. As long as you have not let go of your mouse when you're drawing a shape, you can use the space bar to move it into position. So I'm going to let go of the space bar, and now that this is the shape that I want, I'm going to let go of my mouse, and now I have got a solid ribbon. And this ribbon is just fine, but let's just kick this up a little notch, shall we? With my shape layer selected in the layers palette, I'm going to come up to styles, and I'm going to choose stroke. I'm going to just use this black stroke here and apply that to my layer. Did I get that applied? I'm going to open up the effects panel by double clicking on FX here. You can see that it came in as a black stroke, but I want this to match my ribbon. So once again, I'm going to come down here, choose my ribbon color, maybe the darker part of that a little bit, say okay. And then I'm going to make this just a little bit wider, maybe make this 3 or 4 pixels and say, I could even change this to inside, center. Let's try center and see what that looks like and say okay. Now you see I've got my ribbon and it's got a little border on it, but you really can't see it very well. So let me show you this really cool trick. Because you've used your shape here, click on this little box down here underneath and look what we have. We've got the visibility of this shape. It's from this menu here, visibility, and let's turn this to ghosted and watch what happens. Isn't that cool? It has made the inside of the ribbon, not the stroke, but just the ribbon itself, it has changed the visibility of that. So show changes it back to solid. Hide, now I can see the ribbon side, the stroke part, and then ghosted gives me a semi-transparent version. But that's not all. Wait, there's more. The keystroke command to change the this is called the fill opacity of a layer, is to hold down the shift key and press a number. So if I press 0, you see I have my fully opaque image again. If I press 9 and then 8 and then 7 or 6 or 5 or 4 or 3, I think, or maybe let's just do 2, you see that's changing the level of opacity, the fill opacity of that layer. Isn't that cool? Let's come back and make this stroke. Let's change this to inside and make that just a touch wider so you have a little bit more, maybe down to here. I said wider, huh? Okay, say 5. There you go. Isn't that cool? So we've really quickly created some washi tape out of a background paper, or in this case it was a journal card, and then we've added a semi-transparent piece of ribbon as a border to your page. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If so, leave me a comment down below. If you have any questions, you can leave them down there as well. Thanks for watching.